Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Jay. I'm here to talk about the Mandalorian season two. The season just ended a couple of days ago, and I must say the Mandalorian season two was spectacular. In 2019, the Mandalorian bursted onto the scene. Um, After a really shaky couple of years with the Star Wars franchise, of course, they brought it. It was announced that Disney had purchased the franchise in 2012. Then they brought it back in 2015. A lot of fans loved The Force Awakens, and then a lot of fans didn't. They kind of like Road One, and then they didn't like The Last Jedi really like that. And in 2019, by 2019, they had gotten to and they really hated Solo in 2018. And then by 2019, they had gotten to The Rise of Skywalker. And that there, most every fan hated it. I hated it too. I made a video of why I did really disliked it and the choices that they made in um, really rushing the ending. But by the end of 2019, Disney Plus had come out and they announced the show, The Mandalorian. And all of a sudden, people started loving Star Wars again. The child, Baby Yoda, really took the internet by storm in the latter part of 2019, and memes everywhere, like a whole bunch of Baby Yoda memes. They call Baby Yoda because he looked like a baby version of Yoda. So Star Wars was kind of redeemed after that long period from 2015 um, to 2019, where people did they hated the sequel trilogy. Like I said, they really didn't care for it. It felt people felt fans felt that Star Wars was dead, but the Mandalorian brought it back. But the question in 2020 was, could John Favreau and Dave Filoni do it again? Could they bring another good series to the forefront after they had done it the first time? Could lightning strike twice in the same place? And the answer, they got off to a rocky start because it was announced that Pedro Pascal probably wouldn't return to the show. They didn't know if they were going to get Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka Tano on the show. They did. Both things happened, and they didn't really know if the magic that was Baby Yoda would continue to capture the audience, because between the time of the ending of the last season and now, we experienced a lot of real life events with COVID. Especially with COVID, it shut down a lot of production of a lot of TV shows, and we really didn't have a lot of TV shows, so they really didn't know what they were going to do with it. But then finally, season two came on, and it was pretty. It got off again, like I said, to a rocky start. It was pretty. First few episodes, they were not really but side quest. Like the Mandalorian would do something, and then Baby Mandalorian and Yoda, Baby Yoda would do something, and you know, the conflict was presented at the beginning of the show and resolved at the end of the show, and it wasn't a really long term story arc. But then in the latter part of the second season is when it really started to get interesting with the introduction of the Night Owls, with the introduction of Bo Katan in live action for the first time we ever saw her in live action with the introduction of Boba Fett, the reintroduction of Boba Fett on the show, and expounding upon what he had been doing since his last appearance in the franchise in Return of the Jedi. And the ending, oh my God, when Luke Skywalker comes through that door and he starts beating the shit out of them dark troopers, I just lost it. I lost it, guys. And then when he agrees to train Gorku as a Jedi and takes Gorku away to train him as a Jedi, it was it was the best ending of a Star Wars movie or TV show that I had ever seen since since the since the scene in Rogue One where Darth Vader comes through the door and beats up the rebels. Remember that scene, Rogue One? Well, this was on the level with that. The Mandalorian says for the whole series he's been trying to get Gorku to a Jedi to train him, and he finally does. And him and Luke Skywalker meet each other, and Luke Skywalker and R2D2 um take the child away to go train him as a Jedi, possibly on Octo, where we know that was from The Force Awakens. We know that was Luke's hideout. Very rarely in Star Wars do they give you those scenes that just make your jaw drop. And they give you episodes that are rewarding. And they give you storylines that are rewarding. You have those moments, like I said, like Rogue One, where Darth Vader comes through the door, beating up all the the rebels, or like when uh, Darth Vader tells Luke he's his father. Well, this is one of those scenes. And then the end credits, when Boba Fett kills BB Fortuna when he goes back um, to Jabba the Hutt's lair and kills BB Fortuna and sits on BB Fortuna's throne. So I think for the Mandalorian season 3, it's gonna be like a split up. We're gonna see Gorku. We're gonna see Gorku training with Luke, and then we're gonna see the Mandalorian doing battle with Boba Fett. Because we know that's a pattern in Star Wars. Always been that way. New Hope, they're all together. Empire Strikes Back, they split up. Han, Leia, Chewie, R2, Han, Leia, Chewie, C3PO, they go in one direction to find Lando in Cloud City, and Luke goes in another direction to complete his training with Yoda. The same thing happens in the prequel trilogy. Phantom Menace, they're all together. Attack of the Clones, Obi-Wan goes one way, and Luke and Padme go back to Tatooine. Same thing in the sequel trilogy. Uh, Force Awakens, they're all together. Last Jedi, Rey is complete. Rey is doing her training with Luke, and Finn and Rose are doing whatever they're doing in Canto Bight, trying to find the code breaker. And Poe Dameron is mostly out of it. So this is what's happening now. Um, Mando and Goku were together for the first season, and for most of the second season and the third season. Mando's going to be doing one thing, Goku's going to be doing another thing. So I look forward to that. Another thing that I wanted to bring up was Dr. Pershing said that what he had to what he had to do with the child, he's already done with the child. Means getting his blood. Here's what I think. Here's my theory. He has a high metachlorine count, obviously, because he's strong with the force. So they use his blood to to get cloning material to make Snoke in order to use Snoke to bring back Palpatine. So what if guys, they carried a Mandalorian all the way up to, let's say, Rey's birth? Is the child there when Kylo Ren turns to the dark side? Luke tries to kill Kylo Ren and he turns to the dark side and he burns down the Jedi Temple. And the scene where he places his hand on R2D2's helmet, maybe. Is Gorku still alive when Palpatine is resurrected and staying in Exegol and controlling Snoke and trying to and get into Kylo's mind and manipulate Kylo through Snoke? So I think they're going to use Gorku's blood to make Snoke. That's why they wanted Gorku. That's how I think The Mandalorian is going to tie into the sequel trilogy. They're going to use Gorku's blood to make Snoke. And then Palpatine is going to be resurrected. And Palpatine is going to use Snoke to control the mind of Kylo and let Kylo turn to the dark side and burn down Luke's temple. And that's all I gotta say. I really love the ending of The Mandalorian. I look forward to Mandalorian season 3, the Rangers of the New Republic series that was announced, and the Ahsoka Tano series that was announced. And Kashka Reeves is still alive. She takes off in Bo-Katan's ship. So we may see her return in season 3 as she helps Bo-Katan defeat defeat Moff Gideon and capture the Darksaber and assume her rightful place as the ruler of Mandalore. Peace.